sway to the sound of the tuba.
Turn my heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your way right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you. Carolina skies in the night, floating by your side. I fell up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, 'cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you. I've been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. Tell me everything's alright. Life is just a bunch of faces, and if it's not, we'll still be fine. I know we're going places. I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. I was dancing on my own when you spilled that rum and coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something.
Move your body to the sound of the tuba.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Wir arbeiten schon viel. Und das darf auch sein. Es gehört halt auch dazu. Aber die Technik schafft heute auch viel. Immer mehr sogar. Die Luftfeuchtigkeit passt. Die Stauatmosphäre stimmt. Und wenn die Technik immer mehr schafft, könnten wir ja zwischendurch ein Kehr weniger krampfen. Oder etwa nicht?
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third match day of the ESL Swiss Hero League in CSGO. My name is Remo, and today I am finally joined by the one and only, the man himself, the Swiss voice of CSGO. It's Kairos.
Yes, hello. So happy to be here. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty fine, even though today we have to cast from home due to the coronavirus, but I'm very, very hyped to have you here and to finally be able to cast some good CSGO action with you.
Yes, indeed, it has been some time, and me too. I'm absolutely stoked to finally make it onto the broadcast. It's really cool. Super happy for the opportunity that I got here, and of course a little bit of an unfortunate start. I would have loved to begin our casting sessions last week, but as probably everyone knows and is very well aware of,
it's quite hard.
A bit of an issue currently, well, basically worldwide, right? So,
yeah.
But we'll make the best with what we have, and hopefully we'll be still able to enjoy some very good and interesting and entertaining, of course, Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Today we have a pretty cool matchup, actually. It's Kings versus Blocksport Lions, which basically means the two promoted teams are playing against each other already.
Yeah, it has started with a bit of a slam dunk here from Kings last week. They obviously won their first game against Rins. Not necessarily something that I would have expected, clearly. I would have thought it's going to be a good game, but I probably would have given it to Rins still to win that. But super happy for them, of course. Really good lineup that they are sporting here. And in all honesty, I think Lions, they pretty much have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, definitely. Coming from the win against Barbos Gaming, actually, who qualified closely for the playoffs last season. And Kings winning against Red Instinct in the first game, the champion. But I guess we didn't really expect less from those guys. The guys with Marley, Alex and stuff like that. That's a pretty strong lineup, not gonna lie.
It definitely is. Absolutely no question about that. Still, always super happy to see them perform. Would have loved to cast this game. Last time I think it would have been the one that we actually would have gotten to cast.
Yeah.
Unfortunate to miss out on that for sure. Then again, both these teams, they went through the first round through 3 maps each. So not really a steamroll still, but pretty decent win nonetheless. Of course, Kings, they succeeded in coming back from a 1-round deficit actually against Rins, which makes it all the more impressive, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And while we're talking a little, let's have a look at the brackets as they currently stand. There we can also see actually Silent Gaming, the other finalist of last. Oh, that's on the other side. Silent Gaming did lose as well, and of course Barbos Gaming, they now have to face Red Instinct, and I don't think you want to face Red Instinct in the first or in the second round in the loser bracket, right?
No, certainly not. That is a tough one for sure, but then again, you know, if you join a league like this and if you participate, you're in it for the win, and to win it's quite well known, you have to win against everyone, or at least be able to. Of course, then again, Barbos Gaming, yeah, it's going to be a rough one for them to still make it towards the playoffs, but who knows? It's CSGO, it's a game, it's got its ups and downs, and so do all these teams. So, yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we also have a look at the second side. Of course, Mind Sanity did win against No Namers last Thursday, 2-0, and Casa de Papel, as I already mentioned, did beat Silent Gaming 2-0, which now means Mind Sanity will face Casa de Papel this Thursday, as well as No Namers versus Silent Gaming. And if we look at that, is it expected? Did we expect Casa de Papel to win against Silent Gaming?
Did we? I don't know. Not necessarily, I guess, but I do believe that Silent Gaming, they have a sort of a history of sometimes dropping the ball a little bit. And then again, you have to keep considering that it was the first round, it was the first game of the league, and if you get out of the gates slow in any way in this bracket, you are screwing yourself over a little bit.
That is true. Talking about the brackets, what do you actually think of that like playoff stage right at the beginning without any group stage, nothing? It's just a double elimination bracket. You have to perform from the very first round. Do you like that, or is that? Would you wish for a group stage?
I'm a little bit torn between the two, actually. I do definitely love to see how cutthroat this whole setup is. As I mentioned, you can't really have a slow start, right? If you do, you're under an immense pressure, and it's not going to let off at any point, really. You have to perform every game, and because of that, of course, the intensity of the games are always guaranteed, which is super cool, especially for us as well, for all the spectators and viewers. Of course, it's going to be a little bit harder, maybe on the
Probably, yeah.
couple of the teams. But all in all, I'm fairly happy with that, with it. Not gonna lie, especially because you don't have any boring games really, where nothing is on the line. So
that is true.
Really
Yeah,
cool to see.
since you really have to be there or ready right off the beginning, you don't really have time to get warm with the league, to kind of test out your lineup and stuff like that. You certainly just do need to perform right away. You have no chance of just warming up, so to speak. But yeah, actually, let's have a look at the lineups of those two teams. As we already mentioned some players, but let's just have a look at the full lineup, starting with Bolok Sport Lions, which is Nitz, Slaptix, Mori, Maboy, and Torek. Especially Mori, Maboy, and Torek, well-known names.
Yes, for sure, absolute legends in the Swiss Counter-Strike community. Of course, I think anyone who followed Swiss CS for any length of time really should be somewhat familiar with these names. But of course, for me personally, it's going to be a fun evening because I know most of these guys rather well in some way or another, which is pretty cool for me. And I think it's one of those teams that has an immense potential. Question is only, can they actually unleash it and bring it together?
Yeah, that is true, especially with like the old boys, as you mentioned, or as we mentioned, Mori, Maboy, and Torek, taking their newcomers, so to speak, Nitz and Slaptix under their wings. Actually, they have played the first season of ESL Swiss with the lineup at Epic Esports,
Yes.
now coming back with Blocksport Lions. And yeah, I like the lineup. I like it very much. For myself, I'm questioning the amount of hours being played by some of the players a little bit. But I think if they did spend their hours, it's certainly a very, very strong lineup.
Who are you having in mind, if I may ask?
Well, especially Mori and Torek.
Yeah.
I do know Mori has a lot of stuff going around in his life besides like just playing CS:GO actually.
Sure.
And Torek had some like down phase where he didn't play that much. Maybe that's not the case anymore. So yeah.
Well,
we will see.
I certainly hope they have been a little bit more active in the recent past, and I'm sure for an event like this they will be somewhat prepared and pretty on point, or at least I'm expecting that from them, and certainly hope not to be let down today.
Yeah, that's true. And on the other hand, with Kings, an old name actually as well, they've been playing like with that name for like 2 years already. It's always kind of a different lineup, but then just using that name anymore. And I actually right now I just see there's no Mali. There's just Set, Nikista, Reese, I Am San, and Tionix. I'm not sure if I spelled that correct, but yeah, 3 names that are definitely known in the scene, and 2 new names, which I honestly don't really know.
Yes, I'm here. Absolutely. I Am San and Tionix. I don't think I've ever seen them play before, and I'm pretty positive I haven't really heard about them. So I'm super excited to see them perform, and we'll be watching them pretty strictly. I'm not gonna lie. of course,
Yeah.
Zednikist and Rietsk, they're staples in the Swiss scene, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think I Am Sun and Tyonix, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're German players, aren't they?
Probably. I'd suppose so, because, well, maybe those have just been players that have been playing in the Swiss scene and no one really knew them, which
Could
was
be as
kind
well.
of the same with Rietsk, right? I didn't really know Rietsk until he was already big and playing with big names, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sure, absolutely. But in any case, I'm certain they will be showing us today what they can do. Super happy for them to make it here onto the stream. So
I'm
in
super happy
general,
to have you.
yeah, well, oh, don't say that. But happy to be here, of course, as well. Really fun. Also, speaking about players having downtimes, I guess I had a bit of a downtime as well, right? Haven't
What
been
do you
casting too much recently,
Oh yeah, that's true.
but
Way too less.
Huh?
Way too less.
Way too little.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, debatable, but always happy to make a comeback here and there, and especially today, super hyped and stoked. Looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah, and also, finally, I can see your flat, right?
Yeah, partially. Not much of it, really. You can
Yeah, that's
see
true.
my sick microphone,
Yeah,
which is absolutely
we've already been talking about it, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm flattered a little bit.
Did you get your boom arm? Your microphone?
No, not yet actually. I ordered it. It's
Okay.
still just like on the default stand, which is very bad actually, because if I touch my table, you hear it, and yeah.
So-
But on the other hand, I can go very close to the microphone and actually do some ASMR if the game is boring.
Okay.
So yeah, that's fine.
You're not gonna bait me into that. I'm not gonna do that.
No, probably not. Tried that already, right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
you did.
back
And
to the
we'll
game.
leave it at that.
Yeah. Back to the game and back to tonight's game, actually, or tonight's event. Make sure to go on Twitter, go on social media, go on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you're using. Use that hashtag ESL Swiss and get some more players in here. And watch, and viewers especially. And also, since we're now casting from home, I personally actually have my Twitch chat open. So you can actually interact with us for once. We're not in a super fine studio, we're at our homes, but at least we're able to read the Twitch chat now. So I guess that's something.
Yeah, you gotta make the best of it, right?
Yeah, that's true. We tried, we certainly tried.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Of course, for me, it was the first time being in Bern last week. Hopeful to be casting again, and I would be lying if I said I'd be preferring the setup like it is right now. Studio was looking absolutely sick. People
Yeah,
are
it's
super
massive.
cool around there, and
Yeah.
would have been really cool. And hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to show you that again.
Yeah, that would be cool. It would also be cool to like have a green screen and just green screen ourselves into the studio. So I thought you have a green screen, by the way,
You're spoiling already.
don't you?
Might have.
You might have. Okay,
Might have.
we'll leave it at that, I guess.
There's probably changes coming in the future. you
Okay,
know.
I see. All right. I'm not sure currently about how the players stand, if they're already ready or not. If we go back to the actual game, not just the stuff around happening, what's your prediction?
Phew, it's a tough one. Not necessarily because I think it's going to be too hard to predict, but it's a tough one towards Lions, I believe, because I can't shake the
Yeah.
feeling that Kings is going to dominate them.
Yeah, same for me actually. Even though, like, it's still hard. I just think it could be such a big surprise actually, or they could surprise us so much that they actually like practiced a lot. And I'm pretty sure if they did practice a lot, it's such a strong team actually. So it's hard, but I'm still gonna go with Kings, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be actually a 2-0.
Yeah, wouldn't really necessarily argue against that, but I think the point that you're making is one that I've been making in the past actually for the Lions lineup. They have an immense potential, but in the past I've been let down by them one too many times. So not gonna happen today.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, we're both gonna go with 2-0.
I think so, yeah.
I'm wondering what the Twitch chat says. So, dear people inside the Twitch chat, hopefully watching from home, not with a group more than 5 people, let us know what you think about today's result, or what could be today's results. I will check it out and see if me and Carlos are just plain wrong, or if we're going with the masses, which I actually think will be the case. And while we're still waiting, once again, a big shout out to our sponsors, Samsung and Omen by HP, which make all this possible, and of course the big name behind everything, Swisscom. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Well, we would be here, but not on stream. So yeah, we're glad to have them on our side. And yeah, who do you think will be the top fragger, supposedly for Kings tonight? With the two new names.
That's the issue, right? I have absolutely no idea about I Am Sam and T-Onyx. As I've stated before, I don't know anything about them. So
Yeah.
it could be one of them, I guess. Could not be. Hard to predict, really. Then again, oh no, I can't do it. It would be such a shot into the dark. I have absolutely nothing to go on there.
I'm just gonna say it's gonna be set, because why not?
Okay.
And on Blocksport Lions side, do you think Torek is gonna like turn himself into a roboter again?
One of these days, my dude, one of these days, he's going to unleash his full potential and show the world
I hope so.
what kind of a player he really is.
It's just like
I honestly, I hope so. I haven't spoken to Torek actually in quite a while.
that's true.
But
I have played the last SESL season with him in
Have
like
you?
a fun team. Yeah.
okay, that's interesting. How did that go?
We managed to keep our spot in the first division, and that was basically it.
Bloody hell.
I think
Well
they're
done.
using the spot now with Blocksport Lions, so
Oh, that's cool.
we at least did something.
So you're kind of actually part of this team.
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
Well, on the other hand, Marboy and Mori played as well, but nah, no chance.
Yeah,
You
right.
know my skills. Like,
I do.
yeah,
to
the
some
reason why I'm casting is because I realized my mouth is bigger than my skills, so I moved over.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, that's true. That's probably true.
It's a very unfortunate end of our CS:GO careers, right?
Yeah.
Well, at least you had a career. I never really did.
Well, you had some teams as well, right?
Oof. Let's not go there, dude. Yes, I did.
Yeah, no, actually, let's do, because the people do not know that much about your background. They already know mine.
Because there is no background. You see, that's the whole thing about it.
But you had some team. Like, you've been playing for years.
I've been playing for a couple of years. As a matter of fact, I've been playing for about 5 years now, I think. One of the guys that actually started all the way down in silver, right? Made my way up.
Oh,
to
worked your
at
way
least
up.
Some skill, yeah.
I see.
Big ride. No,
see.
but as I've said before, never really played for any serious teams. I had
No
a couple of
crack.
fun teams.
Wasn't
crack,
no
yeah.
crack like really serious?
Never,
was a
absolutely
joke.
not. Don't let anyone. No, don't even say that's a joke. That would be embarrassing.
But I certainly hope you had a lot of fun with those guys.
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. The people I played with, of course, especially in No Prac, was absolutely smashing.
And yeah, talking about no prac, I hope those teams have prac, because we're live now. Blocksport Lions against Kings. We see Lions on the CT side on Dust 2, and Kings on the T side with a Smoke and the Flash. Do you think it will be a special execute at some corner of the map?
Smoke on the flash. A couple of things you could do with it, for sure. Smoke across, hit a bomb site. Was hoping to see the flash actually go into the B side, but all the action is going down towards a long, as of right now, 2 nice entries from Sad and Nikista here onto the defending players, and that's already the bomb side wide open for the taking for Kings.
Yeah, just Mori and Nits left now. They do have some utility on their side. There's no kit currently on any of those players, so it's going to be very hard retaking that bomb side against 4 players, especially if Risk just hits a headshot. And I am San, I'm sorry. Finished it off 1-0 for Kings. That was quite fast.
Yes, of course, as soon as those 2 long players fall, round's pretty much over. Not really much of a chance to retake with the 2 players from coming over from B. It's an interesting round because they never really had any information of what's about to hit them on the Lions side. Now though, they will start to be a little bit more active in the second round. Nice little mid stack here.
Yeah, but that could go very, very bad if Reese gets a good flashbang. He actually sees 2 players of those 4, I think, were waiting there. Tags Mori to 2 HP, but doesn't quite land the kill. Tries the wallbang. And now we have Nikista. Yeah, they just realized that A-Long is probably open and just moved onto the side. No chance for Blocksport Lions so far. Looks like Nikista is going to finish that round off as well. 2-0. Nice one. I loved the boost there
work.
in the middle.
It's an interesting idea. You might get lucky. You might not. Of course, with the flash peek into middle, the gist was up. Information was relayed. A-Long take came in, and that was basically the round. But I'm actually a strong believer of trying to use pistol rounds and not just basically throw them away. So I like to see people and teams actually go for gimmicky stuff in these rounds.
Yeah, I love those as well. So we did see them actually just go for something and try it. Didn't quite work out. Flaptics and I Am San have already been fallen in this round. Now it looks like Kings are moving towards the B side where Mori is holding with just a Farmers and only 1 flashbang left. He is joined, however, by Nits there with his M4. And actually good trade there by Tionix. Looks like it's gonna be that B split. Do you think it's a good idea against those 2 players? Oh, it was a fake actually.
Right. They actually tried to fake him. Wasn't quite necessary because Alliance already had 2 players committed to this B bomb side. But what Kings are doing off of it, I really like quite a lot. They do not rush anything. They do take their time. Now, unfortunately, Torek is probably in the most prime position to actually shut this play down. Decides to push after the first frag though and throws his life away. So we're back in a 2v2 and run pretty much over.
It's gonna be very hard for Lions to actually retake that bomb site. No kit again and no utility as well. It's just plain old weapons and 1 flashbang on the hands of Mori. They actually do decide to go together, which is actually the best idea to do in that very moment. Just go for frag, refrag. But we already see Set going back on A-Long. And I don't think there's any chance for Nits to defuse that bomb here.
It's definitely would have to hit pretty insane shot here onto Set to clear him out from the pit, but it will be Set to find a nice shot onto Nits in return, and that will be 3rd round for Kings so far. Lions not really finding their groove here.
Yeah, not at all so far. They are back to an eco round. Couple of Deagles coming out, a P250, a smoke as well. And on the other hand, we actually see a lot of creeks. There's actually 4 pieces. I haven't seen that much players using that weapon in the Swiss CSGO scene, so looking forward to see those, and those as well, of course. It's with a beautiful headshot.
That's a cool move. once again a stack, this time to its short, and it definitely pays out. First frag, 4 lines, putting Kings at a disadvantage, at least on the human resource side, but I Am San walking up all on his own towards Mori. Will find the frag and equalize.
Yeah, I mean, well, we see Torek gets 1 kill on towards A-Long, and it's going to be hard, very hard for Kings to actually push that A-Long side. If Sam just doesn't get those kills and Zed actually gets 2 as well, and all of a sudden it's just down to Nitz.
It is Nitz who salvaged one of those creeps. Would be lying if I said that I'm a big fan of this rifle.
And there's that has just been a beautiful peek by I Am San there. Just peeking together with his teammates. Obviously the player moving towards that CT side can just like fight against one player at a time.
Yeah.
4-0. Hard, really hard start for Lions right now. They do need to finally get around now in that 5th round already. It's gonna start off pretty bad as Nikista already gets the kill on towards Slaptics on that op.
It is so unforgiving to try control over A-Long as a CG these days on Dust 2.
Yeah, especially
Really,
with
really
those
tough.
peaks. I always feel like those peaks are so hard to actually hold off on A-Long, just on that corner.
Yeah, you'd need to spend a lot of utility really to create situations where you actually get to be in the favored position as CTs, but we do see the Beast Blade coming in, 3 people move through middle. Tyonix, of course, lurking a bit behind. 2 players still on the side, first one to fall after Mori gets the first frag. This position is of course well known to the Ts, and this is the B-bomb side, once again lost to Kings. Bomb plants going in, and that's already a save for Torek and Maboy for sure. 2 versus 4. B-bomb side notoriously difficult to retake in Counter-Strike, and with that being said, Kings already on the hunt for these saving players, especially of course Maboy with his AWP would be a prized trophy to take down.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no reason not to. Even if they would lose some weapons, there's enough to buy again. On the other hand, Lions would love to take home those weapons. Maboy has now been spotted, and actually, I think Tionix just went for a knife there.
He definitely had the right read, but luckily for Maboy, the remaining Kings player were too far away to actually get to him before the timer counted down. So nonetheless, it will be Kings with a very handy 5-0 lead over Lions as of right now, and Maboy dropped his salvaged AWP to Slaptics. Interested to what he will go for. Well, he's going to lose it. That's what he's going to do. And also,
Once again.
he's losing it in a very unretrievable spot all the way up short. So it's going to be a quick one in the end.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Torek gets 1 kill. It's maybe able to save that up again, but it's going to be very hard because there will be at least 2 players from Kings hunting him immediately right now. We actually see Tionix already on shorts, moving his way up there.
Well, the hunt's not
He's a bit late.
definitive.
Yeah.
Risk. Oh, I am sounding actually. Okay. I thought that was a little bit of a far stretch to try and go for a knife there. Unfortunate. Would have been funny nonetheless.
Yeah.
But yeah,
definitely.
Risk was actually the only one with decent money on the King's side. Lions, not much is going for them, but at least we have to admit they are able to make 1 or 2 of these rounds very expensive for Kings. A lot of players falling to pistols, and
Yeah, and it's gonna get into the phase of Lions where you really feel the pressure to finally get around, and it really starts to bother you to have that 0 on your side.
yeah, for sure, it is always a little bit of
And
a
especially if you look at the money of Kings, it's stacking, it's starting to just stack up. They get the entry frag yet again. actually get a second one as well, and it just looks like that B bomb side is gonna be open again if Malboy just doesn't pull out a rabbit out of the hat. Does get the first kill against Nikista, but Zed gets the refrag. And now it's all on to Mori.
Yeah, Torek and Mori, no chance whatsoever. With the late rotate and the flank coming through, right into the arms of Waiting Kings players.
7-0. Maybe a time for a pause?
It's a good question. At what time the pause needs to come in? I wonder. What kind of a player are you? Actually, I think it's a very personal question. When to call for a pause and when not to.
Yeah, and it's also a good question depending on how like just your team reacts to those roams, right? If they start to get angry or kind of get depressed as well, you have to take a pause. Like you just need to bring their minds down to reset them again. But if everything is good inside your team and the chemistry still works out, I don't think there's a reason to take a pause, I guess. Oh, beautiful read there by Tionix.
Yeah, Karinda climbed out by him. My boy finds a bit of a spam, deagle spam through the smoke. Nikista though, waiting for Nitz in prime position to take him down, locking down the rotates, and once again Bonfire has to come in. I think 2 players were spotted in CT. Nice shot by Torek once again. He makes this single ring. Hello! Torek's at least on the server. Albeit with only the pistols, not as much with the rifle so far.
He's now looking for the last 2 players. They, however, played pretty smart. Torek gets 1. Nearly gets Nikista as well. But Nikista was just too fast on the trigger and the refrag there. 8-0. Well, yeah, beautiful shots by Torek at this stage of the round. Nearly managed to actually retake that position all by himself. So, yeah, he's definitely ready.
Yes, and Kings didn't necessarily play this too passively as well. So they do decide in the end to peek him. Of course, they try to peek him at the same time, not working out too well. So he did have a slither of a chance actually to get both these players in the end. But that's all they had so far. Chances, possibilities, maybes and what ifs.
Yeah, definitely. They really need to step up their game right now. Otherwise, it could quite possibly get to double digits against 0 pretty fast.
They're
and we see Kings
leaving middle open.
Yeah.
Totally, not even a thought of contesting it or getting some information. At least now Marboy's starting to creep back down with the AWP towards mid. They absolutely need some information here.
Yeah, they do. And I was about to say, Kings did read it very, very well. Slapsticks with a nice kill there.
Well, he
Kings
was waving hello to him for sure.
Yeah.
He was totally blinded.
Kings did read it pretty well, going towards that A side with 3 players moving towards the B side, but they decided for the B side now. And
Yeah,
it's
perfect
once again,
counterplay,
yeah. 4 versus 3, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 3.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Oh, and if Lions lose that round, that's so harsh. Nikista again. What? Like, he's pulling out those headshots crazy with that Krieg.
Once again, it is Torek.
It's just a robot himself.
But so little time to work with here. And this Molly is going to seal the deal. Another round for Kings. Yes, I do agree, actually. This round probably hurt a little bit more than others did so far. Because it certainly looked as if Lions, they had a chance. Ooh, the orb spam actually allows Torek to maybe not die.
Yeah, but those 2 players, like, falling nearly instantly after they did take on the B side, kinda set the stone. And once again, B side is so hard to contest as a CT. So yeah, we're here at the 9-0 for Kings. absolutely dominating this game so far, as Slaptix once again goes for that short peek. Doesn't really get the kill.
Very unfortunate, only a leg shot there. So it's top middle.
Meanwhile, Kings once again gets the control of A-Long. I just feel like Lions isn't contesting like any map control whatsoever right now. And I think that's a big issue right now in their game plan, because Kings basically, they do whatever they want and they take whatever side they want at any stage of the map actually.
Absolutely, and they certainly play with an idea in mind. They do have a game plan and they are apparently following it very strictly and are feeling fairly good by doing so. All the while Lions, they look a little bit unsure of what to do and how to react to this overwhelming force from Kings. Of course, 2 MP9s and a Deagle on 3 of your players, not necessarily gonna do too much for your confidence into going into a round like this. But then again, it could be as well a chance for some aggressive plays, maybe to gather some information. I do see a upper tunnels push coming in from Mori. I really like that, and since Kings are taking their sweet time here, it might actually pay off at some point.
Well, they do have A-Long control, but other than that, I understand is... Well, what? Once again, it's just 3, 2, 1, let's go, just get those kills. It's just Torek left against 4. And that was... talking about explosions, that was a big explosion right there from Kings.
Tionix must have seen the flank coming in, right? He must have waited and shown some really good trigger control to get 2 in middle left.
Yeah, probably. That was like, it was so unfortunate as well, because one player was just pushing on the lower B side and was able to just like communicate everything about that. There are players short and long, it's gonna be A for sure. But then again, not winning those duels kind of lost them the round right there.
Absolutely. Oh, it's nice first frag. Second one coming in as well, and this might very well be the one big chance for Lions actually to make it onto the scoreboard. Third frag coming in from this. He's pulling a lot of heavy loads here for his teams. And once again,
Nicely done by him there.
Only with
even managed,
pistols.
Yeah, managed to then get that creek, get a 3rd kill. But it's still so hard, right? No utility, no kits, 2 players left with a full load of utility.
Yeah, and Lions staying passive here. They know they have a man advantage, but of course Kings are the ones with the rifles. I would expect them to group up eventually. But definitely they are tentative of any flanks coming in. Out through the mid door they go, and Marboy actually makes it count. Oh, he will find another one, and unlucky.
Oh, risk.
Not being able to capitalize on it. And finally he spotted the last player. And with that...
Yeah, but that was so good. I think there was team communication coming in saying, wait, Mori is the last person alive. And Mori is always on B. So he just turns around, goes to the A-bomb side. Manages to plant on the box and probably will manage to move back to either short or long.
Really risky move from Reetsk there to go for the shot onto Mori. And he just spotted him over to a shot. And that's he finally finds the headshot onto Reetsk, and Lions will arrive on the scoreboard. Albeit fairly late into our first map here. But very nicely done. I was going to say, actually, with that peek towards pushing Mori, I think he tagged him through the wall or something.
Yeah, he did.
In return, got hit as well, and that brought him obviously down to a somewhat uncomfortable level of health.
Was a good idea, though, to peek over that smoke. Sometimes you're lucky and your opponent just straight up doesn't see you if the smoke lies like that.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. But yeah, it's not really that much for Kings to think about. It's just one round right now, which they have lost. And
on the other, they're not going to be faced by them at all.
And on the other hand, it's the T side as well, right? A lot of people actually say the T side is quite a bit harder on the CT side, so I guess they can still be very happy with their performance so far.
Then again, they do decide to hit that B bomb side again through middle of all places, and this time they are walking right into the stack from Lions, and this might be a little bit a more assertive round from Lions here. Last one standing is Tyonix with his AWP. A lot of utility, and that tells you a lot of how fast-paced that round was actually attacked by Kings. They went in straight through middle. Absolutely no gathering of information or playing any defaults whatsoever. They just went for it. And of course, if you do that, you do risk running into a stack or a somewhat decent setup, which Lions had. My boy gets shot in the back in CT spawn, and of course the remaining 2 players for Lions covering that bomb that has been dropped all the way out in front of the B bomb site. So in all fairness, Tyonix should not have any chance of winning this round whatsoever.
Yeah, probably not. Might actually just go on and save that up, because money on their side, even though they're 9 rounds ahead, doesn't look that good. Like, could be way better actually.
That's true. Although I do believe it's more about not giving Lions a free AWP more than anything else. After all, Nikista and Reedsk, they can still drop decent rifles.
That is true. Lions with the second round now, finally getting into the game. And I actually wonder if Kings just gonna back off and play the round slow again, because it has been working out for them so well. Or if they just go ahead and go on that B-bomb side fast again, because they certainly do have some very, very good spawns, and it looks like it. And they might actually have a good call here, as only 1 player is currently on that B-bomb side. Unfortunate flash there by Set. Flashing his teammates. But yeah, it does look like King's just gonna go back to normal. They do get the first kill after that peek from Mori.
This might very well prompt them to go and hit this B bomb side now. But I like it, they don't. They actually take their time once again. They hit the brakes and they start moving into middle.
That's a nice one-way smoke. Or actually not, it's just a regular smoke for the box.
I think you are actually able to peek below it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Lions, they had to move 1 player at least over towards the B-bomb side. It has been quiet for some time. Again now.
I kind of start to realize, looking at King's playstyle, it's just like moving with a group of 3 players. Nearly always have 1 player lurking, and just have your players together, just go for rag, frag, refrag. You know you're probably better in aiming than your opponents are, and it seems to just work out so well for them. And Nikista once again is going to get a frag from behind against Torek.
So patient play from him.
Yeah.
Really like that.
And again, Malboy and Nitz, it's like you have to save those weapons. There's no chance you're gonna get anything in that round. You're split apart. You don't really have the utility to go for a retake. So they do actually decide just move back, try to save those weapons. Nitz probably gonna get away with the creek.
Tyonix there, getting a little bit antsy. Having second thoughts about Nitz maybe having a kit and trying to defuse, but it's not going to happen. But they will lose another player to him, so at least there's that. But, and the but is big here, it's still only 2 rounds.
Yeah, 11-2, just 2 rounds left on the CT side for Lions. They absolutely have to get at least 1 round. Like, imagine going into the second side with just 2 rounds. It's like, you lose the pistol round and it's probably over. And once again, Kings gets the first kill in the round. Tyonix gets the refrag on Torek.
Yeah, Kings already all over that A-bomb side. Lions not really standing much of a chance. Still, of course, 3 players alive, but their utility pretty much is inexistent, and their guns are significantly less powerful than the ones on the King's side. To
Beautiful
make it
kills there.
3, no, not quite. I am San, only good for 2 so far. It's coming in and claiming 2 on his own as well. But once again, not much of a chance here to pull that retake off. Interesting move there, trying to face the CT player. Probably heard a sound cue there. Not going to work out too well. Gets shot in the back yet again. And it's going to be 12 rounds already for Kings. Only losing 2 so far. And it's going to be the last one in the first half.
Yeah, and it's such a big lead to actually come back. I'm currently like, I'm not really kind of surprised by Lions in a negative way. I'm just like very surprised by Kings. Because Kings are just doing such a good job right now. We once again see Risk just getting those entry kills against Nitz and Maboy. Both were flashed. Mikista might get a 3rd kill. Yes, he does. Now it's just Mori left with a P250. The last Avenger. Gone.
Would have been insane if you had gotten even. Single frag with that. Not going to happen, and that was a bit of a rough one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Lions just like they took so long to get into the game to actually understand somewhat of the game plan of their opponents, and Kings just used that space, used that aim advantage, and got themselves 13 rounds on the T side. Imagine losing the pistol round on the T side if you're Lions. It's probably over, right?
Yeah, for sure, of course. If you want to have any hope, really, remaining in contention for Dust 2, it will have to start with the pistol round. That's a given. But I want to talk about Kings real quick.
Yeah.
Of course, we both picked them as favorites. My bad, sorry. But that was a bit of an overwhelming performance, really.
Yeah, it was.
Did you expect it to be so clear?
No, not at all. Actually, like as I already said, I am so impressed actually by the performance of Kings. They just went onto the server, and it looked like they were all set. They knew what to do in every single round. It didn't look like any mixed lineup actually as well. It just looked so coordinated.
Yeah, definitely.
And, yeah,
Very-
and I think that was just the big difference between those two teams.
Very much so, yeah. They looked structured. They looked, I said it right in the beginning, as if they had a very clear idea of how they want to attack this match. And so far they haven't really slipped up anywhere, made questionable choices. Of course, they rushed into a B split right from the get-go after they lost the first round. It was a little bit of a, well, high-risk play, I would say, but not much more than that. And of course, being in the positions that they were, absolutely no question that they can allow themselves to do something like that. Because
So,
after all, it could have worked just fine.
Yeah, that is true. And if that would have worked as well, it could have very well been a 15-0, because they did lose the round after that one as well because of kind of a bad economy. So yeah, it was very, very harsh for Lions actually. And honestly, I'm unsure who picked Dust 2, but I really do hope it was the pick of Kings. If it was the pick of Lions, oh, it was a bad pick.
Yeah, there we go. I would have expected it to be
Okay.
pick from Kings. After all, they did win on Dust 2 as well against Red Instinct. Whereas Lions actually, the one map they lost against Bubbles Gaming was on Dust 2. So apparently not necessarily one of their most favorite maps. And I guess it somewhat showed again here. At least so far, we can confirm that they might not be too comfortable on it.
Yeah, probably not. But as we see right now, Inferno, I love it.
Yeah,
It's
big
probably
one.
my favorite map.
Interesting of course, will be to see how Kings perform on it. It's the one map they actually in turn lost against Rins. It was the first map that was played, I think. Whereas Lions, of course, with the pick as well today, they do show they are somewhat confident on it. I hope they have their strats laid out quite neatly. I would expect so. Always a fun map to watch, I think, as a spectator. It's one of the most interesting, I think, especially because it shows you so much about a team's setups concerning utility, smokes, mollies, flashes, delay plays, smart rotations, and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very deep map, if you want so, and it takes a lot of patience. I do know for a fact, actually, a lot of players don't really like to play it, at least in a puck environment, because it can be a bit tricky to break through well set up CT defense.
Yeah, especially on the CT side, you need to be aware of your utility and the utility of your opponents all the time.
Yes.
Either T or CT side, actually. It doesn't really matter. If you're on the CT side, you want to wait. You want to wait until that very last second to actually use your mollies, and you might even be able to just completely win a round with Mod Molotov if your opponent has just already used all the utility.
Absolutely, and we will get there. It will be just a matter of time. But how long this time is going to be, it is in the hands of Lions, starting on the T side now. Against an overwhelmingly good playing, well-playing Kings squad here. On Dust 2 still. 13-2 is what we're looking at. And Lions, they have this B-bomb side in their focus. Gathering up all 5 players towards upper tunnel. And with 2 smokes and 2 flashes, this is looking like a well-rehearsed set execute onto the B-bomb side. Of course, 2 players waiting for them, with I Am Sun somewhat close by, lurking around middle. He's going to have a say in how this is going to play out, of course. Unfortunately, though, he's not having any flashes.
Yeah, but those 2 players there, oh, actually, never mind. Torek just instantly gets the headshot on Nikista, and Nitz gets the kill on I Am San, and that's looking like a very, very good start for Lions, finally, as only Tionix and Risk are left. I was about to say, Kings had a very good positions there, just like long distance, being able to spot the players early, but Torek just instantly killed I Am San back there with a headshot.
Yeah, that was nice.
Feels bad.
Very clean. Well, feels bad. Yeah, for Kings, but really, do we need to feel bad for Kings right now?
Yeah, probably not.
Not necessarily. Let's be happy for Lions.
Yeah,
I like that approach.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Well, maybe it's
actually
the start. Maybe it's the start of a very big comeback, right?
It could be. It could be. Certainly, it was something that they needed desperately to at least have a chance to find back into the game, and we'll see where they take it from here.
And if you look at the scoreboard real quick, we actually see Torek and Nitz with 14 and 13 kills. Compared to their teammates, Mori is only on 4, Slapdix is only on 3. So, do you think something like that starts to like bother yourself if you're just like carrying your team away and they're not really able to hold against the wall?
I guess some players could be affected by it. I don't necessarily think these 2 players are. After all, I wouldn't expect them to be. But then again, never really played with them in a team environment, so what do I know?
We now see Lions slowly moving towards short. They do have mid control, they do have B tunnels control as well. Nothing towards A long, but Kings isn't really interested towards that spot as well. Oh, and I'm Sanchez creeps through the smoke, gets the first kill against Nitz. And is actually able to recover that AK and communicate a lot towards his teammates. Maboy gets the kill, but Zed on the B-bomb side, they're just ripping Lions apart right now.
Yeah, not necessarily what you really want in the case of Lions, and it will be Nikista in the end to actually bring it right back over to the King's side. And with
14-3.
that, I have to kind of assume it's going to be over in a bit.
Probably. We see Lions once again going for that eco round. Actually, Nitz just fully buys down with a deagle and a little bit of armor.
The hero
Maybe
dig. Not the hero dig.
The hero dig, yeah.
Not necessarily what I would bank on, but I guess you have
but
to
they
go
do
for
need
something,
it.
right? Yeah.
Well, there he goes. Gets killed by I Am San, and it's just Mori and Torek left. Both in the same position. Risk gets 1 kill, and Torek is being hunted like crazy right now. Managed to tag 1 player, and I think Seth went for the knife there.
Wow. Even got the tag in onto I Am San. That could have
It was
gotten
closer at the end.
almost a bit dangerous there.
Yeah.
But almost is not
15-3.
enough.
Definitely not. And now it's at least now it's do or die for Lions. As Kings, they do now have 12 map points. And they look very, very strong so far.
Yeah, never really under too much pressure here all throughout this whole first map. And of course Lions sitting on measly 3 rounds, so unfortunate Nits will be picked off. From Iron Sun on short, and the Tionics with the spray connects onto Slapdicks. Toric at least is able to trade, but how much longer will he be able to hold? Not too much longer. And Mori in a 1v4.
Not quite able to finish it up, and that's the first round for Kings in a very, very strong fashion. They looked absolutely stunning right now. And yeah, I don't think there's that much to talk about on the T side for them on Inferno. It was just like losing the pistol rounds, getting back into the game with a nice speed take, and then just from there on just play it down 16-3. Harsh game for Lions.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I think, yeah, Kings, of course, with winning the second round here. That was it.
So yeah, the second map, of course, will be Inferno. We will go into a little break before we start with that one, so you will have some time to go on social media and post the stream with the hashtag ESL Swiss. Let us know what you think. And we will be right back in around 5 minutes with the Inferno. Don't go anywhere. See you then.
Move your body to the sound of the jukebox.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Wir arbeiten schon viel. Und das darf auch sein. Es gehört halt auch dazu. Aber die Technik schafft heute auch viel. Immer mehr sogar. Die Luftfeuchtigkeit passt. Die Stauatmosphäre stimmt. Und wenn die Technik immer mehr schafft, könnten wir ja zwischendurch ein Kehr weniger krampfen. Oder etwa nicht.
You ready? You ready?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
And we are back and all ready and set for the second map of tonight's game, Kings versus Blocksport Lions. After Kings won the first map on DE-2, it's gonna be Inferno, and we really do hope Blocksport Lions is gonna be able to hold against that wall of Kings a little bit stronger, right?
Well, let's look at it like that. They can't do much worse, can they?
Oh, that's
it's a bit of a-
that was you saying that. That wasn't me. but
That
yeah.
was indeed me. You see, the summary of the first map of Dust 2 would be something like that, if you ask me. Kings went up to a 13-2 lead. They switched side. Lions, one pistol round. They conceded the second one, and that led to game over. So, a somewhat short thing and then affair. Yeah, not much we've seen from Lions, of course. All the more we've seen from Kings, actually.
So yeah, it's that they really have to step up their game on Inferno. Do you think they're able to, like, if you look at the minds of the players as well right now, you just got like battered on Dust 2, and you really need to come back. Do you think those are players that are able to just like kind of forget that map and just go into Inferno with a fresh mindset?
I certainly hope so. Honestly, I do believe they can. I would assume they know Dust 2. Chances are it's not going to go their way. I don't really know what to base this on, but since it apparently is not necessarily a very good map for them, they probably already focused in the beginning on the second map, on their map pick. And this is kind of the mindset that they have to field right now. It's just a map. It's one of 3. As long as they win on Inferno, they're still in it. They can win it and they can proceed. So nothing is lost yet.
Well, yeah, of course. If they actually manage to get back Inferno, it's gonna land on Overpass as decider, as we can see on the map pick right now. So Overpass, I do know Mori, Maboy, and Torek. They certainly do like to play Overpass.
Yep.
So might even like favor them a little bit, or do you think it's just gonna go all the way with Kings because they just look so good as a team right now compared to what Lions is doing?
Well, the problem is Dust 2 in general is kind of handled as a very puggy map. It's a map where everyone says good aimers can turn around the game. The problem that I see is that Kings didn't win because they fragged out.
That's true.
They won us too because they simply were better structured, had a better idea of how to approach the game, and if that translates onto other maps, I don't really see too much chances for Lions here. But then again, you never know. Overpass, of course, Lions, they do like to play it, and if that was the mindset all along, that they might actually lose the first one, but in the end they will come back stronger and take the second and the third one, then that's all fine. It will still be a win.
Yeah, that's true. And as we already know, with that kind of bracket system, it doesn't really matter if you lose a map, because you just need to win your game and advance and put your opponent's side into the lower bracket. So yeah, that there's, like, as you said, there's nothing lost. Of course there's an advantage for Kings, but Blocksport Lions, yeah, that's even better to like reset your mind if that one map loss just doesn't count at all in the end, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit of peace of mind, really. It's nothing you have to worry about, and that's always a good thing. But then again, losing the first one, of course, always puts on some degree of pressure. So, Lions, I hope they took the break to recover, to reset, to kind of get into the mindset of starting this best of 3 right now. Not really thinking too much about it, but of course, Kings looked scary, dude.
Yeah, and I certainly do hope as well that Lions is gonna take the map, especially on the CT side, with a little bit more aggression, just to like contest Kings, because Kings, from what I've seen on Dust, was just moving around as a team, right? So they're just getting map control like centimeter after centimeter as like 3 players, and if you're just not holding against that, you certainly just you stand on the spot with 2 players, and suddenly there's 5 players coming at you with probably the better aim. There's like no chance for you to even contest that.
For sure, but we will be seeing how it turns out on Inferno. We've mentioned it before. Really interesting, really cool map. Really shows you how well prepared these teams are. And it will be Lions starting on the T side, since it is the pick of Kings. Wait, that's actually not true, is it?
No, it's the pick
I just
of
had
Lions.
it all the way around.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Yeah. So I guess Kings... Yeah, of course, no. Yes, because...
Oh, Nikista somehow gets that kill. As Morius still contesting Seth. Seth gets another kill for Kings. Finally, Slapticks finishes him off. 3 versus 3. No kit on the Kings side. But they're already on side again, and now it's just Maboy left. And the bomb isn't really planted for him right now. Oh, and Tionix with a beautiful headshot there. Gets the round for Kings. 1-0. It looked as Lions had everything to win that round. 3 versus 3. The bomb has been planted, but then suddenly they just lose those duels yet again.
Yeah, I think that kind of played out differently in their mind. But then again, they did get a bomb plant, so that will allow them to buy a somewhat decent set of utility and rifles. Well, not necessarily rifles, rather SMGs for the most part. But they will be about on equal footing here against Kings.
And I wonder how long it goes until Kings actually realize, yeah, they should have realized by now that this is actually a force buy. So there's no rushy approach to this round. Nikista gets the kill on Mori. That looked like a very failed Molotov there.
Definitely left a little
And
bit too
there's
much
an
room.
A execute coming in. But yeah, look at the position of Nikista. It's beautiful.
Only gets 1 though, that's a bit unfortunate. Quick trades coming in from Maboy and Slapticks, and bomb is being planted while Zed is still walking around on the bomb side. How did they not find him there?
And Maboy as well. He doesn't get Tionix somehow. Those were 2 kills that were definitely possible, and it does cost him the round actually.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Maboy just not... didn't time his flank
And
correctly instead.
set.
Okay, that's questionable.
Yeah. He's very low on money right now. Oh, he did buy an M4. Okay, never mind.
And I was just about to say, I wouldn't have put it past Lions to actually force yet again in this round, but they won't. They will tank the eco. Go with...
Yeah, it would have been a good idea actually. Like they killed everyone but 2 players.
And one of them committed suicide in the end. So.
Yeah, and just to keep that money low on the King's side. They do get some deals, but it does look like it's gonna be another round for Kings if they don't like absolutely horribly fail it.
Oh, and once again, a Lions player is actually...
Which will be another way for them.
With a
Wow.
nade in his hand.
Look at Kings. They're like, they have no fear whatsoever. They do face. They even face even more. Very aggressive there, and gets the 3rd round without a loss.
Yeah, no retreat, no surrender. No retreat, certainly not in Kings' strat book. They held their ground, and, well, Lions, they kind of trickled in one after another, not really that difficult to hold against. And once again, we see Kings go up 3-0, converting that pistol round win. And Lions with the first buy round now.
And I love the approach from Kings to be very aggressive. Once again, we see one player very aggressive towards Banana. They do have full Banana control right now, and that's the reason why more or less 4 players are on the A-bomb side right now. Someone might rotate after that missed kill there by Onyx. Doesn't look like they're going for that A take, but as I said, that nade is beautiful. And there are 4 players just waiting for them right now.
Yeah, and why shouldn't they? Onyx, he spent quite a bit of time in Banana, making sure nobody's actually getting close to his B-bomb site, and just like that, Kings actually converge on top of middle, cleaning it out from any terrorist presence, leaving Slaptics with an AWP in a 1v4, well, almost 1v3, set on only 5 HP.
Oh wow, Slaptics with a nice shot there, but I don't think... Oh, he actually spots another one. 1 versus 2 now. It's actually doable.
Especially since he should be aware of the fact that the Kings players most likely are actually split, so he might be able to get a 1v1 hit towards the top of middle, and as he does, picks up the bomb and makes his way somewhat quickly onto the A bomb site. Should have a good idea that the last Kings player is the B rotator, and he will have his eyes trained on top of middle. He knows he's going to come around the corner, sees the shadow and finds the hatch onto Tyonic. What a round saved by Slaptics there.
Beautiful clutch. 1 versus 4, and he gets the round. King's not really prepared for him to like turn the gears up that much. But yeah, those are the rounds that kind of bring you back into a game like that. Just one player going absolutely massive.
And I'm really happy with Slaptics. I think he didn't really have best of games on Dust 2, so all the better for him that he finally turns up in this best of 3. Already again finding the first pick onto Reed. It was his AWP counterpart, peeking into top of middle. Did it just a little bit too slow. Easy frag for Slaptics there, and that's a lot of map control gain for Lions here.
And they're now able to just play with the CTs, because the CTs do not have any utility left whatsoever. There's just one smoke on I Am San. Other than that, it's going to be very hard to defend any of those sides if Lions decide to just push together on either of them. Looks like it's going to be B.
Only a single smoke remaining for the CTs here, and it is on I Am San, who is indeed playing on the B bomb side, so he might be able to actually shut down Lions pushes for a bit.
It's going to be very hard though. Oh, how? I Am San is just getting 3 players, and 1 player still on the side left, Tionix. And now it's just Slaptics left.
Once
and
again.
I Am San shouldn't be able to get 3 kills right there.
No, definitely not. A little bit of a sloppy trade, but Slapdix finds the first one again with the AWP. Second one was wide in the open, but not fast enough with the reload. Sad will take him down. Clean headshot, recovers the AWP and brings Kings right back into the game. Yeah, that's an unfortunate push there onto the B bomb side. And I wasn't. Did you spot how much time there was left? I'm pretty sure they weren't under so much pressure that they had to.
No, I think there were like
rush it
25
like that.
seconds left when the push started.
I think so,
So,
too.
so
yeah.
certainly enough time. There wasn't any flash neither. So I guess it was just I Am San not being traded and him being able to just face one player after another.
Yeah, bit of a lapse.
So yeah, it's all
Communications
back.
maybe.
Yeah.
And Lines on the back foot right away again. Really rough, but they will try to make the best of it. Rushing into the B-bomb side. CT player was spotted and taken down. Trade's going down on the bomb side as well, and that's going to be a very good plant here. In a 4v3 instead. Okay. Will win.
Let's get the kill in the end.
Slapdix brings it back into a 3v2, and now the retake looks much more doable. Especially since it's only Nitz remaining on the bomb side, all by himself, hiding in dark.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be all rounds to be lost. Gets 1 kill, but Nikista just brings it back. It's the 5th round for Kings.
Nicely done, but good attempt, I would say, for Nika.
And finally, Lions able to buy again. We see 2 Creeks, an AWP, and 2 AKs. A lot of utility on both sides. And I'd actually wish for Lions to just go for that rushy approach once again, but with weapons this time, because it looked pretty good. But they do take it slow. Slapdix, beautiful flick there towards Tionix, gets the first kill.
Good opener once again from Slapdix. Provides his team with a man advantage. They couldn't take it over the line last time around. Maybe they will have more success in round number 7 here.
And Am San is just still alone on that B bomb side. I'm surprised. But it's also a very good call. Because we now see 3 players against those 4 pushing in right now.
Oh, good track.
It's gonna be a
around there,
split.
But Reese, once again, Lions are just losing too many players trying to enter the bomb site. Mori coming out of apartments at least gets the first one of the 2 remaining CTs on the A bomb site. But that's one too few.
Yeah, it's just Marboy left right now. Creeping through apps with that bomb.
I guess that doesn't seem
He
to
needs
have
to find at least one.
any idea where exactly the remaining terrorist is hiding at the moment. And Marboy taking his time here. Clock
And that
slowly
patient
but
might
surely
pay
is
off.
running down, finds him though, and brings it back into 1v1.
It's him versus I Am San.
Oh, I am San. He posts up, he knows he had to go for the planet, but my boy flies around the corner, takes I Am San out of the game, and that's the second round for Lions. Once again, it came down to a clutch, and what a clutch it was indeed.
Yeah, beautifully done there by him. Really takes that time to get the first kill towards Pit, and then just finish off I Am San with a beautiful headshot there. He had to peek as well because of that Molotov.
Super important now for Lions not to drop the ball right away again. They are up against a full spy. Things feeling whatever they could. Oh, and that was a headshot through the wall, I believe, on Nikki, so that must suck.
Yeah, probably. Still has that max 7. And he obviously just needs one shot, close range to get a kill. However, it just needs a little bit of a cold breeze right now and he's dead. And I love the approach from Lions right now, just taking their time. clearing corners and angles. Looks way more coordinated as Mori finds the first kill against Risk.
Oh, that's lovely. They actually pulled 2 players away from B. Rotations are coming in. Kings going for the stack towards the A bomb side, hoping they might actually catch lines out. And oh my goodness, that hurts to watch. It might actually just happen exactly the way they want to. Perfect positions, perfect rotations, and lines play right into Kings here.
Wow, and I just thought Slapdix was gonna hit the no-scope there, but it was Nitz taking out another CT, and the last one. 3 rounds now for Lions on the T side as well. It does look quite better.
That was a close one though. That could have gone south so quick.
That is true, yeah. After that second rotation back to A, I thought, oh, with I am Sanchez spotting all the players there.
Yeah, but Lions, they kept their head cool. Had a better firepower, of course, and managed to emerge from the chaos victorious. Fast push down middle from Kings, finding the first frag with the nades. Correct though, and supported by Mori, finding both frags in return. I am Sun salvaged Krieg or SG.
Oh, and Risk has such a good position there. Gets the kill. Brings it into a 3 versus 2, and there's weapons all around for Kings.
Yeah, Tionix gets dropped. That SG from I am Sun.
Oh, they actually get the kill on the Torek with that nade, and now it's just 1 player left. Slapdix it is. And yes, he has such a bad position. He has been spotted. Risk gets the kill, and somehow
That's
Kings managed to win that round.
Not the right weapon, not the right position. That definitely didn't go as planned for Lions. They got caught out from the push. They decided to take over the A-bomb side, but weren't really ready for the CT flank right away. Lost the player to that, and it all kind of went sour from there. Unfortunate, but very nice decision making by Kings then.
And I'm just unsure why they actually decided to face those players after they knew it's going to be a mid-rush. They've decided to just move 3 or even 4 players to the A-bomb side. That should have been just it. There's no way Kings are going to be able to just retake against 4 players with just pistols.
That's right. The rifles lost definitely were in the end what brought them down. But that's how it goes sometimes. You have to make split-second decisions, and sometimes you make the wrong ones. Exhibit A shown by Lions here.
Once again, we see that A execute coming in for Lions. And we see 3 players ready. Zed already knows that there are players coming in from long. Doesn't get the first kill, however, gets the one now against Nitz.
And once again,
Mori
CT
gets
is
the kill
remaining in
against the
pit.
pistol.
Finally though, at least they caught on to that. And in a 4v2 this time around, it should be a pretty much done deal. And I like the takes there from Lions. Nicely done. Flanking through arches, wrapping the site with a late lurkout apartments, picking off the pit player. I like what I'm seeing here from Lions.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely better than what we've seen on Dust 2. And Sanchez trying to probably do some economical damage. Oh, beautiful Molotov there, just blocking Mori from getting away from the side. He will die, definitely. Oh, actually not. Never mind.
I think they planted deep inside, didn't they?
Oh, did they? So yeah, that was the reason why
They
Mori
must
was
have,
able...
otherwise he would have died for sure.
Yeah. 6-4, Lions getting 4 rounds on the T side, which is actually quite good, considering I feel like Inferno's even more of a CT-sided map.
It definitely should be, yeah. I think Lions are feeling fairly good. Also, what they are going for is working most of the time. Of course, 1 or 2 questionables questionable rounds have gone down, but it looks very A heavy so far. Not too much pressure really over towards the B bomb side, at least this time around. They do contest Banana. Oh, nice little spray there from Nick.
Could have
Had a good
continued.
read.
I wonder if he didn't like hear the sound of the hits, because usually you hear if you hit someone. Looks like Lions is once again just preparing to take either side. So they fake A little bit, instantly retreat towards the B bomb side. Toric's gonna grab that bomb and move on towards B as well.
Yeah, Kings, of course, they need to be focused on that CT area. Very possible that the terrorists could have rotated through arches. Not the case, of course. We know that. They don't. And that leaves Psyonix a little bit outside of the bomb side. But the spray connects instantly onto Marboy, takes him down. He wanted to try and push into CT and turns around and gets another one on the side and a third one. And that might absolutely be Psyonix's round. Said with the boost coming in, bomb still not planted. They have to go for the bomb plant at some point, but can't even get to it. What a round by Psyonix. And that was an ace.
That was an ace by Psyonix. Beautifully done there. And also with that double Molotov lying in front of the B-bomb side, there's been so much damage towards Lions. Which in the end didn't matter anyway, because it was all headshots by Psyonix.
Lovely done by him for sure.
And once again, not that much in regards of weapons and utility for Lions as they approach the 12th round.
And it is a slaughter in Banana. So much utility thrown away of Lions. Kings with 3-man over there, of course, trying to fight for the map control.
Beautiful
flash coming
counter
as well.
flash there. They do get the kills, and now it's just Mori and Toric left, both towards the A side. And Kings is aware of that as well, because we have Psyonix just pushing all the way down through Banana.
Second smoke, bottom Banana going down, just about the minute mark.
I was like the 4th smoke towards Banana from Kings this round.
Yeah, they mean business in Banana, they absolutely are not.
Yeah.
Going
Oh,
to
wow.
give it up for free. Good frag by Mori, found completely blind once again.
Oh, and I
force
love this
rotate
move
through
by
CT, that
Toric
is
and
actually
Mori.
Brilliant.
However, Psyonix is ready, gets the double kill and the 8th round for Kings. Good idea there, but Psyonix was aware. Good communication, probably.
Yeah, as soon as the CT player went down towards arches, Psyonix instantly fell back to the back of the B-bomb side, was super ready for them to flank towards the B-bomb side, and of course with that SG on behind the mounted scope, it's a little bit of an unfair fight, of course.
Oh, and now once again, a mid-push coming in for Kings. Toric, however, gets set immediately. They are, however, kind of trapped in there, and it's a slaughterfest as Kings instantly take down 5 players. Nades.
Yeah,
Nades and
Lions were so
Molotovs.
ready for that push down middle, which was actually pretty cool. They caught him off, got a first frag, but Kings instantly with the reaction, throwing pretty much everything they had down towards that T ramp, cleaning up table.
Reese once again gets the entry. And again, just look at the minimap. Look at Banana. They have such an aggressive position on Banana once again that they can move 4 players towards the A side already again. Or they just push Banana either way.
Cool smoke, flash is going into T ramp, CT will clear. Well, never mind, he just got flanked by his teammate. Well, that sucks. Could have been actually a free frag and the bomb.
That is true. Slaptics. Oh, he gets the kill. Slaptics probably wasn't aware that someone was that close and the flash is coming in.
But they should know there has to be another one in banana. The pre-fire coming in from Onyx. He continues to spray. Almost got X onto the third one as well. Takes Mori down to 12 HP. Pretty much leaving him in no position to...
Wow.
What? Okay, never mind. I didn't say anything, Mori. You just do you. 1 versus 2.
He does get the kill, fakes the bomb plant now. Oh, and it was a good idea, but Risk is ready and gets the kill. 10th round for Kings. And we're already again in the last round of the first half. And I also feel like those have been quite fast maps so far, and rounds, of course.
That's true, absolutely. And although we do have a bit of a similar scoreline, of course, like we had on those two, it feels much more competitive here from Lions. I have to say, I do prefer what I see on Inferno here.
Yeah, especially the coordination with those small executes, moving as a team. Just feels like Inferno is much better prepared by them compared to Dust 2.
Once again, Kings, of course, they are so happy to just post one player in banana, making sure they can't take any map control over towards B, as not to be surprised by any terrorist movements towards there. And that leaves them, of course, in a fairly comfortable situation to stack the A bomb side. That's exactly what they are doing again. Torek, nice little spam into CT, actually connects, and that's 2 fairly quick frags. But once again, we have still a CT player in pin. That is like the 3rd time we've seen that. They just don't clear that. And it has come around to bite them in the end before I Am Sun moving through library. Pick up the first frag, and there he is again. Nikista, absolutely not expected by any terrorist on the bomb side. No chance to defend against that with the pressure mantle from the library. And that's going to be the 11th round for Kings on Inferno.
Yeah, and beautiful retake there by Kings. Just getting that 11th round. And we already said it looks way better by Lions, but it's still not quite enough. Feels like. Has been the T side, let's not forget about that. So sure. I'm very curious to see what they're able to do on the CT bomb side. I'd love if they just keep the aggression high and do exactly the same thing as Kings actually did. Pushing banana, pushing mid sometimes, or even apps and stuff like that. Just don't give them any map control.
Yeah, I think special interest will be, at least for me, to see how Kings are going to play the banana, because they have taken it pretty much every single round, or at least they try to take it and fought for it on their CT side. So I kind of would expect them to do the same on their T side, which of course would put a lot of pressure onto Lions to expand a lot of utility early round towards banana, and that of course would pin them down and not really give them too many options to stack A bomb sites, which we've seen a lot of the time being done by Kings. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'm not quite so sure whether Lions actually have the confidence right now to take the duels all over the map against Kings. And of course, but we'll find out in just a bit, and whether Kings will be ready for that or not.
Yeah, true. If I'd be in the foots of Kings right now, I'd just go for a straight up B rush. Just like try to take them out, and also play with their mentality as well with that rush. Get the round and just make him feel like, oh, we have no chance, even though we're on the CT side. Just like be really, really aggressive and confident, of course, as they can be with those map leads. So yeah, even though it has been quite better, I also feel like it wasn't quite enough. They had a very, very good A execute, but other than that, I think all 4 rounds have been won with that execute. And if they didn't play that execute, it was kind of hard watching them because they had no control whatsoever.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty A-side heavy plays by Lions, as far as we've seen. Of course, we haven't seen too many buy rounds, all in all.
That is true as well.
You are right, they have focused the A-bomb side, but they have shown the mental kind of agility to switch into a CT flank over towards the B-bomb side. We have seen a B rush when they were down on pistols. So some different approaches have been taken, but I still believe that too little presence in banana just left Kings pretty much to whatever they wanted to do over the towards the A bomb side. And what strikes me really weirdly is how often they managed to keep one player in pit, not being cleared properly. And that at least lost them 2 rounds, as far as I can remember. It might have been a third one even, not quite sure. I think once or twice it didn't really turn out well. But yeah, nice try, but unfortunately, so far, not much more success than Dust 2.
And we will see if they actually get a little bit more success on the T side as the pistol round is about to begin. And we will also see if Kings actually just go for that rush or kind of take a slower approach. And as I just heard, our observer is lagging a little bit. So we need 1 or 2 minutes more to fix those problems. So yeah,
I'll give it to them.
if you're the IGL of Lions right now, what do you say to your team?
You know you can play this map. Just play it the way you're used to. Play to your strengths. Don't really start thinking about what Kings might be up to. I feel like Kings is a team that is going to get a bigger and bigger lead as the longer you play into their playstyle. If they start to feel that you're not quite sure how you want to approach rounds, or if you are getting shut down by them taking map control, I feel like they will thrive on that, and they will expand on that lead, and they will absolutely make sure you don't get anywhere from you being on the back foot. So I think for Lions it will be mostly about their own gameplay. They need to stick to what they know, what they're comfortable with, to kind of feel themselves in the right mindset, and go from there, really.
Yeah, I agree. If you give Kings the confidence to do something, they will just absolutely crush you. Like, with all the players, with their good aim, if they're confident enough to just right PQ up front with like in every little possibility they get to actually PQ or take an advantage, they will take it. And they're absolutely ruthless in doing that. We've seen them do that over and over again, and actually on Dust 2 as well. When they realized that something was up and they're actually in quite of a lead, it just makes them stronger and stronger and stronger. On the other hand, if I'd be on the Lions side right now, I just go for something unusual, honestly, because I think if Kings has the confidence to just peek and go around every corner as they want, something unexpected might catch them off guard, actually. So just maybe go for a mid rush or something like that. I don't know.
They did struggle against the pistol B rush in the first half. So there's definitely the factor of kind of playing something they wouldn't necessarily expect you to do in the position you're in. So who knows? Push down middle in the pistol round could very well work out. Of course, I would assume they'd be ready for that because it's just so very common. But then again, if well executed, it can be a super strong tool, especially if the terrorists are planning on fanning out and taking some map control in the beginning of the round. So that might throw a spanner in their works. But it will be interesting to see, certainly, what Lions are willing to risk as well in going for rounds like these. Of course, you need to keep in mind that they are down 11-4, so every round lost and thrown away with a gimmicky play might actually kind of put them closer to defeat here. And this might as well be the moment where, you know, the thought creeps back into your mind that you've already lost that first map. You don't really have a puffer anymore, and every single round counts now. You need to get back into a leading position here.
Yeah. And as I just heard from our observers as well, is that we will be casting the third map, Bounce Balls versus Red Instinct, after this map.
Sweet.
Depending on if there is actually gonna be a third map. So I'd love to actually cast that map, and I'm honestly surprised that the result currently is 1-1.
That definitely is not necessarily what I would have expected. But Bubbles, I guess they kind of found a second win here, going up against Rins. And of course, Red Instinct, they will be sweating quite a bit right now.
Yeah, they are. And as I said that information, I just got the information that we actually can't do it because of tech issues. So we won't cast the third map.
Hype for nothing. What
Yeah,
can you do?
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. So yeah, we will see. Maybe they can fix it until then.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? Might be a big surprise.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see in due time. First, of course, we will keep on focusing on our second map here in Lions versus Kings, and I'm not quite sure. Do we have any updates on whether our observer found his groove again?
Not yet. As far as I hear, it does look like the tech issues are still in place, but
Alright.
yeah, I don't think we need to search for something to talk about, right? Because that's just natural between us.
Oh, is
Is
it?
it?
Right,
Is it?
Oh my god, putting me on the spot here. Ah, but sure. You're right. You're right. It's not like we haven't done it before, right?
No,
So let's
business
play.
as usual, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far, of course. But let's take a little bit of a jump here, a leap of faith, if you will.
All right.
Let's say Lions they absolutely smash the second half here on Inferno, and they actually bring it back. So we've already seen before. Last map would be Overpass. Now, after seeing the first half of Inferno, how do you see Lions' chances if we get there to actually take it?
On overpass, it is right.
Yes.
Actually, pretty good. Because
wow.
I also think like Kings is a team that plays a lot with their emotions as well.
Mhm.
If they're in a bad mood for some reason, like losing the map now against them, that might actually like be the killer for them, and Lions might just be able to creep back into the game and win the third. On the other hand, if you win the second map and then you start off pretty badly in the third map, that might actually kill it for Lions as well. So I don't know. I think the advantage kind of goes a little bit back to Lions if they manage to win this map. But still, obviously, Kings is the favorite.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess it might be onto something there. But still, I'd like to ask you this. Inferno is Lions' pick, right?
Yeah.
So it's the one map they kind of felt like, yeah, this is the safe one, right?
Yeah.
And sure, they started on T side, which is notoriously difficult to win on Inferno. No questions about that. But still, with all their preparation and all their comfort on Inferno, they still managed only to win 4 rounds. Now, could they actually outdo themselves on Overpass of all maps? Because I feel like Overpass might actually be an insanely good map for Kings.
That might be true. But just with their playstyle,
Yes, exactly.
with the group, yeah.
Their play
That's
style,
true.
their ability to kind of adapt to whatever they're faced with, and their quick decision making. I think especially that we've seen on Dust 2 multiple times where they've kind of fell down the positions that the CTs were holding, and they were able to quite effectively, I'd say, move around the map and exploit these weak points. And Overpass, of course, is a map that very much lends itself to kind of a snappy, quick decision making kind of playstyle, right? Or
Yeah,
am I
that's true.
totally wrong here?
No, I actually agree. And there's another point I'd like to mention is the fact you can place the CT side on Overpass pretty aggressive as well. And I think Kings really likes to not sit back and just go and bring the fight to you, even though they're on the CT side. So that might actually be another advantage for them on Overpass. There are maps where you can't really go that aggressive, but I think with Inferno, Overpass, and Dust 2, you have some good maps to do aggressive plays as a CT side, compared to something like Train, where an aggressive move isn't really possible on the CT side, because as we all know, if you do an aggressive move on the Train, you're probably right in the spawn of the T's already. So
Yeah.
that might be another indicator.
Am I interpreting this the wrong way now? Because down on our match results screen is actually lighting up Kings wins 2-0 over Lions.
Oh,
So all that nice talk about overpass might actually be totally in vain. And
might actually be.
it kind of looks like Kings actually took the second map as well in what would be a somewhat quick fashion here, if that's
Yeah,
actually
that's
the
true.
case.
If that's the case, it's probably 5 rounds in a row and just finish him off.
Or at least close to it. Must
Yeah.
be, yeah.
Yeah, just 5 between something like 5 or 7 rounds. Don't think we've been talking that much actually. Maybe we've been talking since
Well, you
an
know.
hour and we just don't realize.
Time flies,
So who
my
knows?
dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
But,
yeah, I'm not sure what's happening now, honestly.
Let's see. I'll try to get some information here.
You do that. I'm gonna continue talking. And I'm gonna talk about Red Instinct versus Barbas, which might be a game we will be able to see, or at least the third map, where we have Red Instinct. Alright, so yeah, we're actually working on getting in the match between Red Instinct and Barbas Gaming, the third map. We will prepare our stuff, and I guess we will go into a short break, and then in 2 to 3 minutes we will be back with the third map between Barbas Gaming and Red Instinct. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Will we?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Song, 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 song. Song, 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 song. Song, 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 song. Song, 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 song. Song, sing, song, song, sing, song. Song, 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 song. Do, 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 do.
Wir arbeiten schon viel. Und das darf auch sein. Es gehört halt auch dazu. Aber die Technik schafft heute auch viel. Immer mehr sogar. Die Luftfeuchtigkeit passt. Die Stauatmosphäre stimmt. Und wenn die Technik immer mehr schafft, könnten wir ja zwischendurch ein Kehr weniger krampfen. Oder etwa nicht.
La, la, la.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
Check him out. Check him out. Less than the y'all, less of the south. Too complex to the versatile.
And we are back, and we will be broadcasting the third game of Red Instinct versus Bubbles Gaming. Of course, I'm still joined by the lovely Kairos. Kairos, you're still fit? You're still doing well?
Sure, absolutely. Love to see actually a third map today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be between Kings and Lions. As we have already speculated, actually, it was Kings to take the third map in a somewhat decisive manner. So we'll avert our eyes from that match and focus on the other one that is indeed still going on. It is between Bubbles Gaming and Red Instinct. We'll be joining them on map number 3. Quite astonishingly, Bubbles actually managed to win Overpass against Rins, which indeed was Red Instinct's map pick as well. Later on, of course, Rins brought it back, obviously, into a 1v1, return to favor, so to speak, and won over Barbos on Mirage. And we'll be coming to a conclusion here in this game on a very nice and super legendary map that is called Nuke. So super cool to see actually a Nuke game tonight as well. Looking forward to it. So what do you make of that? These two teams trading their map picks.
I'm actually surprised by Bubbles Gaming, not gonna lie. Red Instinct coming as the champions into the second season, losing the first game, and now on a draw, 1-1, losing their own map, even though they brought it back on Mirage. Mirage is kind of the map where you can always win if your opponent isn't like the super Mirage expert. Going into Nuke, I actually see Bubbles Gaming in favor against Red Instinct, just because they've been playing together, they know each other pretty well, and they probably do have some strategy set up as well. So compared to Red Instinct, which is a team known for just being a mix of players and just their pucky style of approaching the game, I actually think Bubbles Gaming is going to take it home, even though Red Instinct has some pretty neat players.
Okay. Fair enough, absolutely.
You disagree?
You call... Not necessarily. I just believe that although Rins might be a puggy team, I mean, the names that are on this team are pretty damn banger.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
just to bring you up to speed, maybe you know them, maybe you don't. It's Carlson, Alex, Maniac, Dexum, and Xreal. A pretty intense lineup, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
That is scary. But as you say, Bubba's Gaming, they do seem to have that bite. They do seem to kind of like to get stuck in and fight for their wins. The players, quickly for your information on Bubba's Gaming, it should be Simu, Optimistic, Linux, Strix, and Crizzy. So there are also a couple of very well-known names in the Swiss scene, of course.
They are. And
Yep.
I've been very surprised by Linux during the last season, actually.
Yes.
He seems to be a player that has been up and coming, and I think he made such a big step in progress. And I also think he's currently IHLing.
Oh, is he?
If I'm wrong in chat,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure that someone knows out there. Please let us know. That would be actually quite interesting. Linux, yeah, I'm super looking forward actually to seeing him play. It's been
definitely.
quite a while since I've been in contact with him and seen what he can do. I absolutely would confirm that he's one of the breakout players, I would say, in the Swiss scene over the last maybe 1 or 2 years. Of course, with Simu and Strix, we have two very well-known old guard players in this lineup as well. So apparently it's a mix that works fairly well.
Yeah, and I hope so. It will work out for the third map as well, because I'd love to see those guys advance, even though I'd love to. It's hard. Like, that's the downside right now, I just realized on that bracket. We won't see Red Instinct or Babos Gaming. One of those teams is going to drop out.
Yeah,
And
tough luck. Well,
I think, yeah.
it is a very harsh reality in a double elimination bracket that if you lose 2 games, you're out. That's just the way it is. And we said there are some positives about a bracket like that. You do get intense games. You do get high octane, high paced, very do or die timed games. But then again, of course, if you just can't hit your shots and do not kind of find your movement, your groove in a game, it can be over fairly quickly. And for one of these teams, that exactly will be the case. And it's going to be a sad one either or, because either we lose Red Instinct, an absolutely legendary team that most definitely had other goals in this league than to go out right away. And with Babos Gaming, we would lose a very interesting and exciting team that is fighting very, very hard for their place in the Swiss scene, which of course would be super unfortunate as well. So, but you can't have everything, and it should make for an even better third map here on the decider.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for the game to be set up, make sure to go on social media, because I don't think people out there realize that we're casting Babos Gaming versus Red Instinct right now. So make sure to tweet it. Tweet the link of the Twitch stream, and also use the hashtag ESL Swiss, so we'll get some more viewers in here that really are interested to see Babos Gaming versus Red Instinct. What's your pick, by the way? I don't think you decided on who's going to win Nuke, right?
I haven't, mainly because I still don't know who starts on CT side. Sorry, I'm old school. It is a bit of a factor.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you start on the CT side and you get like 10, 12 rounds in a row, which is quite possible on the Nuke. You just might get that upper hand at the confidence to just finish him off, right?
Exactly. It's going to be so much about momentum. And of course, knowing now that Rins actually lost their map pick of Overpass, but in turn managed to kind of come back and destroy Babos on Mirage, their own map pick, it still kind of fills me with that eerie feeling of the underdog story in Bubbles Gaming here. They will go up against the Giants. They will go up against an immense pool of confidence and knowledge of the map and the game in general. So they definitely have their work cut out for them. But also, I would assume they've probably never been hyped before for a match like this one. So they will be hungry. They will be gunning for that victory. And what an achievement would it be for Bubbles Gaming to actually get rid of Red Instinct here?
So in conclusion, you think...
I'm rooting for Bubbles.
All right. You're rooting for Bubbles. I think it's hard for me, actually, because I'm quite good friends with Dexum as well, and
Okay.
I do know the player from Bubbles Gaming, having played with C1 Strix in a team. My heart roots for both teams. So at Swisscom, at ESL Swisscom, they just both advance because that's what I want. Is that not possible?
Yeah, that's of course rough, but that is still not quite an answer though. If I made you pick a team.
Weil sie nicht so krass sind, nicht so häufig echt Probleme gehabt. Oh, ich glaube, wir sind live. Are we? I'm not. Okay, we are live. We are back. Unexpected.
Hello.
But I guess it works out. So yeah, we do hope we manage to fix our technical issues now, so we can actually bring you the game between Bubbles Gaming and Red Instinct on the Nuke, which will be the decider map, of course. So yeah, we talked a lot about the two teams. We talked about who we're rooting for, who we think are the favorites. Kairos said his opinion, I said my opinion, so we're all set.
Are we though? Because I actually don't have a feed. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah, you can actually, like, in OBS, you can go into you can open up the SRT stream and just click OK, and then it refreshes and the feed is back. So yeah, while we're waiting for Kairos to get his feed corrected, I'm just gonna talk to you about, really those two teams. As we already said, both of them are stacked with players that are known in the Swiss scene. Bubbles Gaming is a little bit more on the team play side of things. Red Instinct more of a pucky kind of team with raw aim and really good players. And if he's playing, of course, Maniac, who's certainly capable of just picking together random players and then just create a super team that works well together on either map. So I'm actually looking forward to see if Maniac is playing, and if so, what his approach of the E-Nuke actually is.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. By the way, I'm back with source and everything, I think. I hope my audio's still okay. You can hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So it should be good. Yeah, I think it's I wasn't actually too sure. He must be playing though, right? Maniac, I mean, he's kind of the cornerstone of this team. I would say so.
I think you do have some, like, you have an expanded roster of 6 or 7 players with stand-ins as well.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, all right. Yeah, production crew just told me that we actually won't be able to cast the map. The last map, which is a big bummer. However, if you have them in your Steam profile or friend list, you can right-click on them and view the map info if you're interested on the scoreline. For us, it's a big bummer. But,
unlucky, but that's how it goes. Well, tough luck. Pretty quick summary. We had a bit of a stomp from Kings over Lions. Not really much resistance shown there from the Lions side. Unfortunate, but I think not entirely unexpected in the end.
Yeah.
And of course, Red Instincts versus Barbos, follow their social media, follow their Twitter, and make sure to keep updated on how that turns out. I certainly will.
Definitely,
and,
yeah.
For now, I guess that's going to be it then.
Yeah. From my side, once again, thanks to our sponsors, Samsung and Omen by HP. And once again, go on social media. Tell us what you thought of this match between Kings and Lions, of course. And we will be back on Thursday. Well, if I'm talking about we, it won't be us two, but it will be the beautiful Roman guys from Born to Cast who will be casting the 4th match day of the CSGO season. We will be back next week, actually, on Tuesday, so I am honestly very much looking forward to that one. I guess you too?
Sure, absolutely. Looking forward. Also make sure to participate in the polls on what games we are going to cast.
Yeah.
Make sure in general to stay updated on the Hero League here, sponsored by Swisscom, Samsung and Omen. Once again, big thank you to everyone involved for having me on the show. I'm enjoying it tremendously. Always good fun to cast with you, and I hope the short games that we were able to cast were still exciting and fun to watch. Tell us what you thought about them, and if you have any feedback, please send it our way.
All right. Well, then I'm going to close it out with 2 quick mentions. First of all, thanks to our production crew working tirelessly to try and fix those tech problems and still being able to bring us at least 1 match. And secondly, towards the end, stay healthy, stay inside, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Have a good one.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Wir arbeiten schon viel. Und das darf auch sein. Es gehört halt auch dazu. Aber die Technik schafft heute auch viel. Immer mehr sogar. Die Luftfeuchtigkeit passt. Die Stauatmosphäre stimmt. Und wenn die Technik immer mehr schafft, könnten wir ja zwischendurch ein Kehr weniger krampfen. Oder etwa nicht?
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I don't need